Hey everybody, Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro, here at the beautiful Grand Vista Marriott in Orlando, Florida, where I own and operate my teaching business under the Shade Tree. Now, today I'm going to continue with my series on the #1 player in the world, Scottie Scheffler. As I said yesterday, I showed you all a good motion of how he moves, using abduction and adduction, in essence, with his knees. Now, as I said before, Scottie Scheffler is a shifter. He is a shifter. He shifts his body, and as I said, I'm not a big fan of when I see Randy Smith trying to turn him. He's not a turner. He is a shifter. And the process of his shifting, it allows his body to turn simply because you can see that his hands are high like Jack Nicklaus, and he drops them down. That's why when these arms are up, the scapula is up. Even Mike Alston used to talk about when the arms are up, the scapula has to be up. And then the only way you get the arms down, the scapula's got to come down. So in the process of doing all of that, as I said, that Scottie Scheffler is a releaser, and he shifts and he releases. And one of his best things is when he's chipping and pitching, because you don't see him with this big set, you kind of see him a little bit like this. Well, this kind of action allows him to be able to release the club, I've got a very unique way that I do it. I don't seem to miss with it, but it allows him to be able to be in a little better control. Because something that I realized this, you all saw me do a video once when I was talking about what Steve Stricker and what was the name, Jason Day, when I was telling you all how to move the arms in that way. And they like, people say, oh, you're holding it, it's not really releasing it. Well, let me tell you something. When these people are doing this, believe it or not, because the club, and if something else, they are releasing that club. This is a release. It's still a release. No matter how you try to do it, say it, that, oh, they stiff arm. No, there's a release in it. There's a reason why that is still a release. Now, one thing about Scottie, Scottie adds a little, he actually, believe it or not, because the way his arms go, he's actually doing the Stricker them, but what he's doing, he's adding a little bit of extra little flavor to it when he's actually, letting the club kind of just release a little bit more. He's just adding a little extra flavor to it, depending on what the shot is. Sometime, I'll watch Scottie and he'll hit certain shots, and then the ball maybe squirts out a little bit right on him. I've seen that a few times. And one thing I think that he may do is that and I've seen this, and sometimes he'll kind of fluff it sometime. He'll actually open that club face up a little bit, and and he makes that move. Well, I would tell him this, is don't open the club face. Just use the toe of the club as if it was a knife and just slice through the bottom. Slice through the toe, in a sense, through the shot. Like you're cutting the legs from underneath it. Because if I had a knife in my hand, when I come through there, I wanted to cut. I don't want to just there. I want that knife to be, when that knife comes through, I want that knife, the tip of that knife or whatever, to just be slicing through. And, just where I just slice it through. I don't want to drag the knife through, because I may miss you, because you could just get right here. You could get out of the way of me doing that. But if I throw that buddy into that knife, or that tip of that knife through, I'm slicing through you. Well, the same thing with the tip of that club. Get up there. Even when you're hitting the little flop shots, get up there and throw that. See, I don't need to do all that opening the face and all that different stuff, because I know that if I release this club, then I could do whatever I want with the toe of the club. And that's what I would tell Scottie Scheffler to do. Focus on that. But like I said, with his shifting action, he's not a rotator. All these people that keep telling you, you got to clear your left side out and all that, they have no clue what the golf swing really is. And if you just study anatomy, it'll show you that your pelvis is not going or opening. It's some things, if you just take a moment and read, you will find out a lot of answers to these questions and why your golf swings are bad and why you can't chip. In essence, is because, like I said, some things are just common sense, and there's a reason that there's restrictions that we have. So be like Scottie, have a little bit of flow, take the little Steve Stricker and the Jason Day, that little motion, and then just add a little bit of flavor to it and see how that gets for you. Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And like I said, don't forget to take a look at joining my membership. Like I said, I hope you all like this series that I've been doing with the Scottie Scheffler. I went over the full swing, talked about it under the shade tree, as well as I did the video on putting and his claw grip. And now you got a video on here of him, just what he does with chipping and pitching. Chipping and pitching, pretty much it's the same action. One's just a little bit longer. Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro, always good golfing.